What's up, everyone? We are live at 5 here at Broadway.com. It is Thursday, December 6th. Network is opening tonight.
Network is opening.
It's
Happy
fantastic.
opening, Network.
Happy opening. I'm Paul Wontorek.
I'm Beth Stevens.
And over there is Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
And the fantastic Ward Horton is here from Torch Song.
Yay. Yes, a round of
Broadway
applause.
newbie. It's fantastic in the show. We're going to talk
certainly
all
is.
about Torch Song, but first, today's top 5.
An icon is going to play an icon on Broadway.
This
Double
was
icons.
double icon.
I didn't see
Yes.
this one coming.
No.
No, this was a big surprise. Faye Dunaway, Oscar winner. Faye Dunaway.
Who we've been
coming
thinking about
back
because of
Broadway.
Network.
She won her Oscar for Network in 1977. She's going to play Katharine Hepburn in Tea at 5. This is kind of crazy. This will be in the summer of 2019.
Okay.
Matthew Lombardo.
This better really happen.
the-
If this gets canceled, I'll be really upset.
If Faye says she's doing it, she's doing
Okay,
it.
good,
Or maybe
I'm
she
in.
just wanted to let us know that she's still around while Network is opening. I don't know. This will be directed by John Tillinger. The play was done off-Broadway and then it toured. So it was done
We saw
off-Broadway
it.
with Kate Mulgrew
mm-hmm.
in 2003. And then it toured with Tova Feldschuh. I don't know if you remember that part.
Oh, I forgot she did it. Okay.
Limited engagement. Faye Dunaway, of course, won the Oscar for Network. She was nominated for 2 other movies. What were they? 2 of my favorite movies, Bonnie and Clyde and Chinatown.
Not Mommy Dearest, people. Sorry.
No, but it's genius.
People love that Mommy Dearest
It's so
performance, though.
Good, so good. Anyway, we'll be excited for
That's
that.
exciting.
And hopefully this cast won't be late for a very important date.
Oh, aren't you
know.
cute?
Thank you.
Always.
So there's a new musical based on Alice in Wonderland.
The Lewis Carroll classic.
There have been other musicals like Wonderland, but this one is called Alice. They're going with the Alice by Heart. And so we've been talking about this show before.
Yes, we have.
This is directed by Jesse Nelson, who co-wrote the book with Stephen Sater of Spring Awakening, the Tony winner, who's writing the lyrics, and then Duncan Sheik. I'm sorry, I buried the lead. Duncan
Yes, you
Sheik
did.
wrote the music and orchestrations, and so we knew all that. That's old news, but now we know the cast. Who's in it? Molly Gordon is Alice. Colton Ryan is Alfred / the White Rabbit. Also featuring Grace McLean, Wesley Taylor, Noah Galvin, and Andrew Kober. And this is set in London. I actually saw a reading of it. This is
tell
set
me
in
more.
London during World War II.
Wow.
So, it's one of those stories you can kind of take
You can adapt
the,
it.
the bones of it and then, make your own thing out of it. And that's what this is. And this is opening a brand new theater, the Newman Mills Theater. It's MCC. So this starts January 30th. So I can't wait. That means
exciting.
clean seats, fresh smell, and a new
New
musical.
musical,
It's all
yes.
good.
And have you heard the rumors in St. Petersburg?
Thank you, Caitlin. We're talking about some new casting for Anastasia. This is they're getting some fancy people here. I'm going to mispronounce your
Go
name.
ahead.
So just,
Try to say
Here we
it.
go. Konstantin Germanikos. I'm going to say it like that. And
That felt right.
And the Penny Fuller are
He's
joining.
an ensemble member, isn't
So
he?
he's an ensemble member, and he's stepping up to play Gleb. His previous Broadway credit was in Evita, also as an ensemble member, but he covered Magaldi, who was played by Max von Essen.
Look
I'm
at
here
that.
for you, doing my research.
Okay.
Who just left the show as that, or is leaving on December 16th. And Penny Fuller is succeeding Judy Kay in the role.
Penny Fuller is a legend.
Penny Fuller is a legend.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
agreeing.
you. I do agree. She has 2 Tony nominations, one for Applause, way back in the day, one for The Dinner
She played,
Party,
what's her
more
name?
recently.
Eve Harrington.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's All About Eve, the musical.
All About
It
Eve,
needs
the
to come back. Maybe, I don't know. Does it not work?
I'm
Is
sure
it
Faye
260s?
Dunaway would do it if you asked her.
Oh.
Look that up. So also, she was in some really amazing original casts, like Cabaret. Did you know that?
Wow.
She was the original standby for Sally Bowles, and then she ended
Wow.
up going on. And her most recent credit on Broadway was in Sunday in the Park with George. Anyway, they begin on the week of January 7th for Ms. Fuller and for Constantine, December 18th at the Anastasia.
And Vicki Lewis is still there.
Thank God.
The British are coming.
That's all you're saying.
Do you
Yeah,
want to
that's
say it
all
again?
That's
Do you-
it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I
she
just
had a
read-
lot of
I'm
work
sort
to
of
do
disappointed
today.
that the British are coming.
I'm trying.
Yeah, there was a lot going on today. We
lot
didn't have all
going
day to
on.
write these little headlines. Jerry Mitchell, we know him.
We do.
You know what he does? He makes hits.
Oh, yes, he does.
Yeah,
Very
he does.
good.
That's his-
He
that's
directs
his-
and choreographs.
That's his thing. That's his shtick, as we like to say.
like to say that.
He has a new musical called My Own British invasion. Did I get that right? And they're doing it at Paper Mill. We haven't been hearing much about this show.
No, this is another surprise.
I mean, I think they announced before that it was happening, but it's just not really like, it's kind of quiet. It's coming in quiet. So we'll see what's going to happen. Directing and choreographing it. It starts January 31st. This is why it's kind of surprising. It's really soon. This is based on the experiences of Peter Noon, who was in Herman's Hermits. Look it up, kids. It was a British sensation.
Yes.
He was 15 when he became famous from that. And this features a book by Rick Ellis, who just opened the Cher Show on Broadway.
Yep,
and the music of various rock artists, including Herman's Hermits. I guess that'd be important.
There you go.
The Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Petula Clark, the Moody Blues, and other 60s British rockers. So this is a really British, but I'm burying the lead again. It's all about the cast. They announced the cast.
Oh, tell us.
Who's in it? Kyle Taylor Parker of Kinky Boots, Fame, Brian Fenker of Memphis fame in my head. I love that. Erica Olsen, Connor Ryan, John Sanders, Daniel Stewart Sherman, and newcomer Johnny Ames. I'm not sure if I said it right.
Just make it longer.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Congratulations, everyone. I can't wait to see what Jerry's been up to.
And we love him like a table.
We do love this guy. We're talking about Christopher Fitzgerald.
That's
Chris
a
Fitz.
song. That's a reference to a song.
That is a song in the musical Waitress, which with one of the oddest titles of a song on Broadway.
It's an odd character.
Chris is coming back on December 11th. He's an original cast member.
Yeah.
Current cast member Alex Wise will play his final performance on December 9th. And Waitress. It's always nice when an original cast member comes back to a show.
I saw Chris Fitzgerald when I went to see The Fairman. He was sitting behind me.
He wasn't on stage.
I felt bad because I'm tall
You're very
with
tall,
big hair, and he's
he's
not.
my size. He's
We
taller
love
than
him.
I am.
He's awesome.
He's
so,
the best.
Welcome back. This
Welcome
is like
back,
his. I don't know how many runs this is like his dolly. I mean,
This is his dolly.
I mean, he's done a lot of great things in his career, but this is like turning into a big
This
one.
is tailor-made for him. It's perfect.
Absolutely.
It's perfect.
Fantastic. Thank you for stopping by, Beth.
Anytime.
Hey, Caitlin, tell everyone about Ward Horton.
Yes, gladly. We do. We have Ward Horton in the studio with us today. He's currently making his Broadway debut in Harvey Fierstein's Torch Song. His previous theater credits include Torch Song off-Broadway, so he knows what he's doing in this. His other stage credits include The Autobiography of God, Lost in Yonkers, and Brighton Beach Memoirs. His screen credits include Pure Genius, One Life to Live, the scary movie Annabelle, that's really scary, Midnighters, The Wolf of Wall Street, and more. Follow him on social media at Ward Horton, and be sure to leave all of your questions in the comments down below. Please welcome Ward and Paul.
Sir?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You have a very commanding voice.
Oh, thank you.
I like
I
that.
was thinking about your voice.
What about
Do
it?
you do any voiceovers?
I don't. Could I make
There
money?
is a
that
commercial
side gig?
out there right now that I hear, and I hear your voice. And it goes like, turn to the nerds. And it sounds exactly like you. And I've always thought it was you.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's
No,
not. You should.
I don't think it was me. That's amazing.
No,
No, I would like to make some side money, so if you can hook me
Yeah.
up,
Okay, cool.
You might know the right people.
Yeah.
How's the Torch Song family?
It's
That is a
amazing.
family.
It is a family.
Over at the Hayes Theater.
Yeah, we are very lucky. We get to work with an amazing group of people.
Yeah.
And,
Everyone still
you
likes
know,
each other.
They do, which is surprising.
Yeah.
No, it's not surprising because we did this show for 3.5 months off Broadway, and we got to spend 9 months away from each other, which is always good to do with family. To
Yep,
be away from each
true,
other for
yep.
a while, and we we hung out a little bit during the summer and got to know each other, and I feel like then the Broadway version got deeper because of that. And
Yeah, Michael Urie said that too. He said that
did.
the time apart was great because you actually really got to know each other.
Yeah, we
And
really
when
did.
You did first
Yeah.
did the show, you were just sort of actors doing a show together.
Yeah.
But now you.
Yeah, it was cool. They came out to my house. I live out in Connecticut, and they came out to my house
Oh,
and we hung
nice.
out for like 24 hours, and it was
Oh, that's
really
cool.
fun. Yeah,
That's good.
It was
It's
good.
fun. Are you enjoying Broadway?
Oh, it's amazing.
Now, the little
Yeah.
bit of research I've done on you, I know that you did theater when you were like a kid, right?
I did. No, yeah, I grew up doing it. I did it from the age of 5 until college, and then for some reason got away from it. I have like a practical side to me. I come from a family of businessmen, and I was like, well,
Right.
that's what I need to do, and I'm gonna stop doing this thing. And
All right, wait, pause, rewind. I want to hear more about the kid. What was the first time you got on stage as a kid? Do you remember?
I was like 5 years old doing, well, I can't really remember. I was a teddy bear in something. I was a bear in something, and I don't really remember exactly what that was. But I remember doing the Emperor's New Clothes. That was early on.
Okay.
I did, yeah, you did that, yeah. Emperor's New Clothes. I did, I was George Washington in a play about George Washington.
Oh,
and
that's
I remember
role.
chopping down a cherry tree,
okay.
and then I did a bunch of random stuff. I was in the Fantastics. And the girl slapped me in front of the entire middle school, like really, really hard. And she was supposed to fake it, but she did it. And it like made everybody crazy. They thought it was amazing, and I was like, "Wow, that hurt."
Wow.
That was kind of embarrassing, but
yeah. So you kind of had the arts in you, and then you said, "Nope, I'm going to go to school for business."
Yeah. You know, I did. I did a main stage production of Lost in Yonkers my freshman year in college, and then I was like, "Wow, that's a lot of time. And am I going to keep doing this for the next 4 years?" And then, you know, then what am I? So I didn't. I just said no. I stopped. And I got away from it, and I declared a business major, and I went into into analytical finance, and I worked with an asset management company down in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, for 3 years after college. And then 9/11 happened, and it was kind of an eye opener. It was I was not happy with doing what I wanted to do, and I was not passionate about it. And I had actually married my wife, and she and I had a big sit down, and she kind of said, "You know what? Now's the time."
Wow.
And so I moved to New York about 6 months after 9/11.
Wow.
And everybody's like, "What are you doing? You're moving to New York? Everybody's leaving." And I'm like, no, this is where I wanted to be. And
So when you were going to that office job every day, did you have an office?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Very
watched.
corporate.
I think it was 9/11. I had like a TV in my office. I usually had the news on, and I watched it happen.
Wow. And you met your wife when you were down there?
Yeah, we went to school together. Wake Forest University.
Okay. And so, you got that
So
locked
it's been
in really early.
Really early.
Okay.
Yeah. But I found the right person. You know,
Yeah,
she's
you
like,
got the
she's my
wife,
rock.
And you have kids?
I do have two. I have a 13-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son.
Okay, so when you were going to that office job every day,
Yeah.
were you still sort of? I mean, she obviously knew that this was your love. Were you pining for it? Were you dabbling in it? Were you? It's like Jessica Vosk. You know Jessica Vosk?
No,
she's
who's that?
Alphaba. She had an office job, and now she's Alphaba.
Oh, really?
Hey, Jessica.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
You know what?
can-
I don't have a problem with the route that I've taken at all, and I would do it the same way. But yeah, I think there was always that yearning for it. And I remember a family friend produced a movie in town, and he asked me to be a part of it. And I got my SAG card. Like, I hadn't done anything, but I got my SAG card on that. I'm like, well, God, you know, this is something that, you know, this is bringing back memories. I love this. And so then when I decided to get back into it, I did some regional theater in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I did, for a year, I was banked had my job during the day. And then in the evenings, I'd drive to Raleigh, and I did 3, like, off, you know, regional things.
Yeah, so you were dabbling a little bit.
Yeah, I dabble a little bit.
Well,
yeah.
plus Ward Horton is a great name. Ward Kirby Horton, right? Isn't Kirby your middle name? I love that name too. Such a great
You do a really good job of saying it. I have to tell it gets
I'm a
caught in my
voiceover
mouth.
artist. You're very familiar with my work.
Voiceover artist. I know you're in there. I know that's you. You're just not telling me. That is totally you.
And I'm sure people, I feel like people probably said to you, you should be on a soap opera. You look like you should be on a soap opera. And you've been on soap operas now,
did a little
actually,
bit of
right?
soap opera,
Any great soap opera work that you want to really brag about?
No. No, let's move on.
Let's talk about Torch Song, because now you're like a Broadway actor.
Yeah, you know what? It's I didn't see this coming.
You didn't?
No, not at all.
So how did you get involved in it?
Well, I auditioned. I got it. It came to me, and I'd always told my reps that I would love to be able to do some more theater in New York. But living in Connecticut and having a family and kind of focusing a little bit more on film and TV the last 10 years, I kind of got away from it. And so, and I'm not a musical theater guy, so there's not a ton for me. And so when this came along, I was like, yes, I want to do this, and I auditioned 4 times.
Oh, wow.
I went through the process, 2 on tape, and then 1 with Moises, a work session with Moises, and then a final with Michael and Harvey and Richie and Moises, and it was pretty exciting.
That's the A-team. That's the A-team.
That was
you
a
just
pretty
mentioned.
cool group, yeah.
So you are Ed.
I'm Ed, yeah.
And you are Arnold's partner. What was sort of key to this guy, to cracking this guy? Because obviously this play has been reworked since the original, and you know a lot of people talk about how forward-thinking it was about gay families and about raising children and all these amazing topics that Harvey Fierstein sort of saw before anyone else did. What about Ed do you think you were right for, and what did you sort of discover in the audition process, and why? Where are you the guy to do this?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm the guy to do that, but what I saw in Ed that kind of I felt very close to is that he's a very honest individual.
Yeah.
And he's earnest, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. And yes, he's confused, and he is getting in his own way. But I think that's one of the things that Arnold loves about Ed is that he can always expect the truth from him.
Right.
They have that relationship that they can tell each other anything. And for me, I'm a pretty honest person, and I feel like I do wear my emotions on my sleeves a little bit at times, and I understood that struggle with him, but for me, digging deep into Ed and how many layers there are to him was quite a discovery for me, and having the amount of time, coming from film and TV where you don't feel like you always have as much time to really dig into somebody.
Yeah.
Having that rehearsal process and being able to talk to Moises and to Harvey and have their input on it was really, really helpful.
Is there anything about, what about the play is, period? I mean, first of all, is Ed based on someone Harvey knew? Is it based on, it's based on a real?
And he's come to the show.
Oh, Ed came to the show. Is his name Ed?
No.
You met Ed?
I will not say his name.
Oh.
He has been to the show, and yes, and I've met him, and he's a wonderful man, and he and Harvey are still a little bit in touch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Ed with guys now?
Ed is married to a woman.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's interesting. Because that is sort of the what's happening in the play.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's really interesting
right?
information. Because wow, that kind of blew my mind. Ed came. Where's the photo op? That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what that is that weird that you are telling this play was created so interestingly because it really was sort of Harvey kind of rolled it out when he was many years ago in the late 70s, early 80s. He sort of rolled it out in pieces. What's it like working with him? And it's so personal to him, obviously, and he has revised it for this new version.
Yeah.
It's no longer a trilogy.
Right.
It's just Torch Song. What's it like working with him on this, and when you're dealing with things like that make it more personal almost?
Well, I mean, he's always there for us to ask questions, because it was he calls it the Campbell Soup version of Torch Song Trilogy.
Yeah.
It's condensed, and so at times during our initial rehearsal process before the off-Broadway run, you ran into points where you had trouble connecting some things, and then you realize you go back into the script and you find that there was some stuff taken out that could help us. Now, he's brilliant. Harvey's brilliant. He would very rarely give us anything back. We would ask for stuff. Although, can we bring this back into the script? No, because he knew that you can make that jump. You can go from here to here, and you might need a little help. You might need to ask some questions to get there, and he would always answer those questions. But he really allowed us to figure it out on our own. He allowed us to struggle to figure it out on our own. But he was more than accommodating and always a text away. And he makes fun of me because he would get text from me at midnight. This is like a month ago, like still asking questions. I'm like, you know what? You offered. I'm going to take you up on it.
Right. How's Mercedes Rule?
Oh, she's amazing.
She's amazing, isn't she?
She is lovely, and she's a lovely person.
Yeah.
She's making margaritas for us tonight.
Oh.
She makes a mean margarita.
I've heard
so
that. So is that a weekly event or something?
She's done it multiple times.
Oh, okay.
And you only need one.
Oh, it's like that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. She knows how.
And if you make the mistake of having 2 or 3, you're going to struggle the next day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're in those creepy Annabelle movies.
I was in one.
Well, yeah, but were you? And then
Well,
you were
they
really
have me
in the second
credited
one.
in another one. And it's not,
But what was that like making a?
It was pretty cool.
Is there anything scary on set when you're making a scary movie, or is it just kind of ridiculous on set?
It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous.
I mean, it all comes together in the editing.
You know what? Sometimes, for me, I played kind of the husband of the woman that it's all happening to.
Yeah.
So it's all happening to her. I'm sure she went through some very scary moments. Me, I show up at the door. What happened? Why did you do that?
Right. Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, you're good at that. That's a real talent to play that husband.
Yes.
Hey, Caitlin,
Yes.
what are the people online saying?
We got
to
some
Ward?
questions
Uh-oh.
for you. So Sanford, I love that name, on Facebook wants to know what has been a memorable Torch Song fan encounter, because the show means so much to a lot of people.
Did I meet Sanford?
I don't know.
Because that was it. No, I think for me, it's every night going out and meeting the people that saw the original and how much this meant to them 35 years ago.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, you know, and then also them saying to us that they haven't missed anything, and it still holds up so well to them 35 years later. I mean, like you said, this was a pinnacle play back then, and now, you know, it feels like it speaks just as strongly, but in a little bit of a different way, especially the environment we're in right now.
I remember seeing the movie when I was like figuring myself out in Connecticut as a teen. I remember when the movie came out, and it was like such a huge thing to see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is like a part of people's history,
It really
and
is,
especially since at the time there was very little else to look at.
Right.
Now you just got to watch Will and Grace every night.
Right.
If you want. I mean, there's a lot. You know, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there. Back there wasn't.
Ashley on Facebook wants to know, what are some major changes that you felt like, or you feel like you're going through doing from film and TV to doing theater more?
Well, this experience has been really amazing for me creatively, I think. You know, like I touched on a little while ago, just that ability to really dig deeper. And I said that you maybe aren't afforded the opportunity to really do that in film and TV. But I take that back, because I think you are. You just don't because of the time frame.
Right.
But I think that you can, and that's what I'm going to take with me going forward. I mean, obviously there's an adjustment to being on stage and speaking to a house, talking to a house of as big as, you know, the Hayes isn't huge, but it's a lot bigger than a camera that's right there.
Yeah.
And so it's there's that adjustment. But for me, I think just the process of it all is going to change going forward.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. This is fun. So, you know, you mentioned that you did a lot of theater growing up.
Yeah.
Kurt on Facebook wants to know, what of those past roles would you like to do again now that you've been doing theater
Wizard
more
of Oz.
often? Oh,
Yeah. My daughter
Easy.
is going to be auditioning for Wizard of Oz next week, and so we actually had a long conversation about it. I was the Tin Man.
Okay.
And it was really fun. And for some reason, you know, there's just some things that get stuck in your head, and you'll never forget a word to any of the songs. And for some reason, that was always it for me. So I wouldn't want to be the Tin Man again. I'd want to go back and be the Lion, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you do a lot of physical work as a Tin Man? Was there a lot of like physicality to?
I'm pretty stiff as it is, so I don't need to do a whole
Well, the
lot.
lion's
but the
not.
lion is not stiff.
No.
That's why I want to play him.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you want to really loosen it
Yeah,
up.
oh,
You
yeah,
want to really
totally.
take a risk. The Lion and the Wizard of Oz. Sure.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I love that. Let's do last question.
All right.
A lot of people want to know if there are any like classic theater roles that you would like to try your hand at one day.
Oh man. No, I want to be in Hamilton. Can I be in Hamilton?
As
Did
George
they
Washington.
cast-
You want to
did
play
they
George
ca-
Washington again?
I guess he's probably the only one that they cast me as. Or, no, they come on.
Sure.
They could throw me in some of that other stuff. I would
Sure.
love to. I saw that recently. I would love to be a part
Hamilton.
Of that. Oh my God.
The Lion and the Wizard of Oz and Hamilton. These are the two
They're
things.
so
where-
similar, so maybe not. I don't know.
Hamilton, even though you said you don't sing.
In the shower, I do.
What do you sing in the shower?
Oh, whatever. Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
That's
If I only had a brain or the heart. I love that song. That's a great
Yeah.
song.
Which one? The
So you're-
heart? The scarecrow?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but then if I only had a brain, the Scarecrow sings, but then
yeah,
doesn't
that's
a
right.
Tin Man sing heart?
Heart, you're right, you're right,
Isn't
heart.
that like a thing?
And then the
And the courage,
Yeah.
and the nerve, whatever, the nerve. I think
Nerve.
the line says the nerve.
The nerve.
And so your daughter's auditioning for,
Yeah.
well, we wish her luck.
Oh, I thought you were asking me what she's
Yeah, is
auditioning for.
she actually is
She's going to audition for Dorothy, but she thinks she thought about the lion song, but then and I'm not going to go into it. We had a
So
nice
did you
long
give her
conversation.
audition tips?
Um,
I mean, they might put her through the ringer like they did your
Yeah,
four auditions
four
for Torch
auditions.
Song.
I don't know. We'll see. If she comes to me and asks for my help, I will help her. I helped her last year. They did the Lion King Jr., and she was young Nala.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I helped her a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe that's why she's attracted to the lion. You already did that. Play a human now.
You heard it
Ward,
here, honey.
Thank you for coming by. Hey, everyone, you need to go see Torch Song.
Please
it is playing
do.
at the Hayes Theater through January 6th.
Hey.
It is fantastic. You're never going to forget it. It's honestly a beautiful production of a fantastic play. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single day on Facebook. You can listen to us in a podcast form by searching for #live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We talk to Eugene Lee of American Sun.